Hey guys, so I am currently at Joann's right now. We're going to be going into shop for some fabrics and stuff for a costume that I'm making for someone. I decided to go full on, like, I don't know, poor boy barber. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of a experience for what kind of things that I buy and whatnot for cosplay. So the cosplay that I'm doing is going to be the Kate Sith version of Silica from Sword Art Online 2. It's the blue version. For those of you who don't know which one it is the blue version. So that is going to be the version that I am doing. And so let's go ahead and go in and do some shopping. People like to park really close here, as you can see. So it's hard to get in because they don't park on the line. Hopefully they're gone by the time I leave, because they did not park very well at all. So, all right. So, Walmart and Joann's are generally the two places that I go to shop for fabrics. Joann's has a good coupon system. Right now they have a flash sale of 60% off one item and then 20% off your total purchase, which is awesome. Of course, the Halloween stuff is in full swing. So let's grab a cart real quick. Alright. So the first thing we're going to need is solid blue fabric. I generally go over to the quilting section for that. Because you can find a lot of good solid blue fabric in the quilting section. So there is flannel, which I don't need flannel. God, that would be hot, wouldn't it? There they are. They've moved a lot of stuff around here, so it's kind of hard to find things sometimes. But here it is. See? All of our solid flannel stuff. Now the blue that I'm looking for is kind of like a very vibrant blue. So I'm wanting some really high-end blue. Like this one. Something like one of these. The other thing is there's going to be yellow trim around the corners, so I'm going to have to pick up some of that too. This blue looks to be pretty good. This is a nice, solid, beautiful blue. Sorry, I need to say And then you got like this one, which is a little bit darker, I think. I like this one better as far as the color goes because it matches closer to the K-Sif. So we're gonna go with that one. So the outfit is mostly blue. There is a silver across the chest. And then there's like some yellow trim around it. I just buy the trim already trimmed because honestly it's faster than cutting it, and it's just so much easier to deal with. Look, it's fur. Fluffy fur. I love shopping here just because there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. You got the Yaya Han fabrics, which are, yeah, they're good. They're good fabrics. You can get some really good quality stuff out of it. They're expensive. I will say that. They're expensive as crap, but they're solid. I do like this. This is nice. I love the skulls and bats and stuff. That's really cool. It's great for Halloween. Really good stuff. So the trim, there's like the bias tape and then there's the trim. The bias tape is usually better if you're edging something because it's already pre-folded for you. It is a little bit more expensive, but not too bad.
So we might need a little lighter weight cotton.
Here's all the sewing stuff. It's where I get all my sewing spools and such from. Things like that. While I'm here, might as well pick up another thing of the light blue. That'll go. It'll match the color with that really well. Alright. Here we are. So this is the different the bias tapes and stuff like that. I just gotta find yellow. Some things I buy from Walmart because they're cheaper. Sometimes bias tape is cheaper here, sometimes it's cheaper at Walmart. Aha, there's the yellow. So here is yellow, and what I get is usually something like one of these, or a little bit thinner like one of these. This is called quilt binding. There's 3 yards of it, and you can see the pricing. Double fold bias tape is $1.99 per. And then this is single fold bias tape here, which single fold is $1.99. So, you know, it's what kinds do you want? So I'm gonna get, let's see, I'm gonna get all of these because there's a lot of trimming. So, and so it makes it so much better. You can also, if you wanted to, you could get the satin blanket binding, which is this, and fold it over yourself. That's perfectly fine too. That's like $2.99 per, so you know. It's really how much work do you want to do, honestly. And of course, don't forget your buttons, your snaps, your zippers, and things like that, because that is one of the biggest things that people forget is buttons, snaps, and zippers, and you have to go back for that. I have a giant stockpile of buttons, snaps, and zippers, so I don't really have to worry about that. The other thing I come here for, of course, patterns. They're always good. Apparently you can do lingerie patterns now. That's interesting. And right now Simplicity has their patterns 3 for $5, so let's look in here and see what kind of new patterns Simplicity has. And Simplicity has right here everything that you need. So if you wanted to go straight to the costume patterns, which is usually what I do, costume patterns are the orange right here at the very end. So there you go. Alright, so apparently they have a new Snow White, which is weird. I mean, it looks like 1950s Snow White. It's just weird. That's cute. Super Mario. This one's a nice one. I like this. I think I've already gotten one of those though. Cinderella stuff, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, you know, Disney princess things, which are nice. They're helpful. Ooh, I like that. That one I'm definitely getting. That's an Organization 13 right there. Yeah, they're definitely getting more and more and more into anime stuff, which is nice. And the anime stuff is really, really helpful. Just looking for a pen in here. There's my pen. Fancy pens, fancy pens. Alright. So 8482. I just write down the ones that I want usually. So that one is definitely one that I'm interested in. Ooh, I like that one too. 8480. So there's another one. That's kind of an interesting one. I like that one too. It's kind of plus sizey, so it's kind of interesting. It's very 1950s, so these are all the new stuff, which I like, so. Usually they have the newest stuff in the front and then everything else to the back. There's just so much stuff here though. So many things, which I do like. Don't know how confident I am in bodysuits though. And I have most of these patterns. I usually just go for the newer patterns. But every once in a while I grab a secondary pattern. Especially if I make a lot of something, like if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of that pattern, I'll buy like 2 or 3 of that pattern. Alright. So I don't see too many more. I did see a Harley Quinn one. And I don't know if I want to do the Princess Peach one. I'm not really a fan of the Mario. Like, eh. And I don't really need the Cinderella pattern. They do kind of have these, which I find interesting because I have this one that I got from Hot Topic, and you know, I'm surprised that it has the pattern here now, which is kind of cool. And then here's the Harley Quinn, the old school. Just not a fan of bodysuits, really. Just the bombshell patterns. I mean, they have them in here for a while, so if I need to get them later, I'll get them. For right now, though, I'm just gonna get these 3 new ones. Alright, so we go over here, and we're looking for 84, which is going to be on the very bottom of this row here. As you can see, 80, 81, and 82. So here's 80, and I always get the 2 different sizes. So there's a 6 to 14, and then a 16 to 24. Same for those. And then same for those. Alright. And so there we have it. Every once in a while I'll check out what's up on top here on these, because sometimes they'll have like cutesy little things. That's really helpful for just different patterns that aren't really costume patterns. You know, like this here. It's a jumpsuit pattern. And that's really good for a like a Fix It Felix or something like that. And then they have like this one, which is a vintage skirt pattern. You know, so every once in a while they'll have something. That would be helpful. So right now the patterns are 3 for $5, so they're like a little over $1 a piece, like $1.50 each, I think. So it's always good to grab them when they're $1.50, because normally they're like $10 to $15 each. So and every once in a while I like to look here. This is the you know, the just little bits of trim and whatnot. Sometimes you can find bits of fur, you can find bits of fluff, accent pieces, things like that work really well. You know, like this here would make a really good piece for, say, like a bear hat or something. And it's $11.91, so it'd be 50% off that, and then an extra 50% off that. So usually it makes it like $4. And you only need a small piece of it, nothing, you know, big, nothing giant. And then the other place that I check every once in a while, because right now they're having 50% off the red tag price, is the red tag apparel. You can sometimes find some really, really, really cool fabric in here. I find leather, like here, it's $9 a yard, so that'd be 50% off of $9 a yard for like fake leather. I don't need any fake leather right now, so I'm not gonna get it, but you know, it's good to look through every now and again, because you'll find some really interesting fabrics that'll work for really cool costumes. You know, like this here. This fabric looks really, really, really pretty and shiny. It would be great for like a vintage like dress or something, and you know, like trim for a skirt or a dress from the 1900s, and it's $7 a yard, so 50% off of $7 a yard is like $3.50. So that's really, really cheap. So, you know, stuff like that's really, really good. Every once in a while, especially during summer to winter change, I will find broadcloth in here. When I do, I usually buy it because broadcloth is generally expensive as all get out. So when they clearance it out, I can get it for pretty cheap. Yeah, see, here's more fake leather, stuff like that. And you can also get quilt, good upholstery fabrics and such for cheap, like here. You can see that you can get some really nice upholstery fabrics in here. Those work really well as well for Civil War dresses and things like that, 1900s dresses. You can see here, this is really, really good stuff for doing Civil War. Like these two would work perfectly together, these two fabrics here, and they're 50% off of $18 a yard. So you know, a lot of people ask why a costume costs so much. If you look at just the fabric alone, not even the time that it takes, but just the fabric itself, you know, you're looking at some pretty expensive pricing. I mean, if you take this fabric, for example, which was like $4 or $5 a yard, well, to make a dress, you're going to need like 7 to 8 yards. So, you know, you take 5 times 7, you're looking at like $30, you know, just in fabric. You know, that doesn't include the trim, which is $2 per, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's another $10. So, you know, you can get pretty pricey when it comes to all this stuff. And so you got even Yaya Han in clearance here, 50% off of Yaya Han's $40, which can get expensive still. You can see 40% off the lime. There's all kinds of stuff here. But this is pretty much what we do when we're shopping for fabric, is, you know, look around, see what else there's to see. You know, see, here's some pink fleece stuff here. The first section here is pretty cool, but they don't have as much as I would like. They do have a nice blue now, which is really cool. You can see really soft and fluffy. The thicker long pile stuff, right now plush furs are 30% off. You know, you got ones that have like leopard spots on it, different kinds of fleeces and such. I do like this because I do a lot of ears and things like that, so you know, fleece like this, definitely, I love it. And right now I have a 20% off of your coupon, so if I used it on this 30% off fleece, you know, if I got a yard of that, you know, this fleece here is $20, so it's 30% off 20, then 20% off that. So this one's $30 for this. It's very soft and plush. You know, fur is expensive. I will say that right now. Fur is always expensive. And here's my broadcloth. This stuff is beautiful. I love broadcloth. Broadcloth is amazing. It's shiny. I actually have some of this at home. This pink stuff here. I have some of that at home. It's a beautiful color. I've got some of the butterfly at home. Some cherry blossom stuff like this. I have some of that at home. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love using it because I can make really amazing things out of it. Alright, so we got 50% off of Pelion by the yard, which is great because I'm going to need some of this stuff here. And that's $10 a yard, so 50% off is $5, which is awesome. That's going to be for the breastplate that I'm doing. So that's what that'll be for. And it's just like a nice thin upholstery foam thing.
I thought it would all kind of more like that. But if it's a this.
Alright, so we're gonna grab a number. Number. And then we wait for our number to be called. So they're on 94 right now. So basically we're just going to wait and we're going to have the fabric cut. And then once the fabric is cut, then we take it up and we check out. And that's it. So I'm going to wait for my cut and then I'll be checking out. Hopefully later on I will be doing some more tutorials. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. See you later, guys.